My mom told me she doesn't care if I currently have a girlfriend, she's going to force me to marry my cousin to make her a legal US citizen. Posted by you/my_mom_is_entitled. I was going to post this on my main account before I came to my senses. This isn't really a throwaway, but more of an account I'll use to share stories about my entitled family, my mom. Before you call bullcrap and start joking around saying Sweet Home Alabama, believe me, I wish this was bullcrap, but unfortunately, it's an actual situation I'm facing. We are Dominican, don't know if that changes anything. I hate that song. I'm 20 and male, my cousin is 19 and female. Spanish was my first language. I have a third cousin in the Dominican Republic. They're not well off in that country, and her mom is a little neglectful. At this point, it feels like my mom cares more about her than me, but whatever, she deserves it. She's a good kid who does well in school and wants to move to the US to go to nursing school. She can't, however, because she isn't a legal citizen. My mom decided that it would be the best plan for me to go to the Dominican Republic in June or July and marry my third cousin. To make her legal. She brought this up a few years ago, but I thought she was joking. Apparently, she wasn't, because recently she brought this plan up again, and she's actually talking about how she already booked flights for the Dominican Republic and everything. WTF? I'm in a relationship already, and my mom literally told me that she doesn't give a crap about my personal life, she only cares about going to the Dominican Republic and forcing me to marry my cousin. Thankfully, I talked about the plan with my significant other, and they are supportive. Due to the pandemic and not knowing if it's going to get worse, I think it's safe to say we're not flying out there, but my mom, for some reason, still acts like we are. Basically, I marry her, stay married for a year, then we divorce amicably. My mom pockets any money that's made from this, if any. When I try to downright refuse this, I'm met with screaming, physical anger, and threats to kick me out. I'm afraid to go to any family members because I don't know what's going to happen. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Lol, well that won't work. She will have to wait 3 years before becoming legal. Also, there are the fees. Family sponsorship form, $535. Green card application form, $1,140. The practice of obtaining residency through marriage is illegal in the United States if the marriage itself is fraudulent. Commenter 2. You need to get away from your mother immediately. Being forced into any marriage against your will is never okay. Your mother also does not know what she is talking about. This will take much longer than a year. Green card marriages require regular check-ins to confirm the marriage is real, so say goodbye to your current significant other for the duration, and any immigration is quite expensive. She will pocket any money made off of this situation? How is she expecting to make money? You understand that if she somehow does, technically it will make your mother a human trafficker. I want to stress again how much you need to get away. There is the terrible and controlling behavior of forcing you to marry, as well as pushing you into a scheme that could result in serious jail time for those involved and drastically harm the chances of your cousin being able to immigrate in the future. On a sarcastic note, what's your mother's marriage status? Why doesn't she marry the cousin herself? Update 5 years later. It's been 5 years since I made this post, and honestly, I was never planning on updating. I forgot about the account until I just saw this YouTube video and was really sympathizing with the writer, until I realized that I am the writer. The original post is still up on my profile, but to give a quick summary, my mom has always been abusive, both physically and mentally, and has always been very controlling of my life despite me becoming an adult. Things reached a point I never thought they would when my mom tried to force me to go to the Dominican Republic to marry my cousin so we could bring her back to the United States and she could start nursing school. I logged into this account to see people messaging me for an update and people making up theories lol. Some said I died, others said I married the cousin and got into legal trouble, etc. If I wrote in detail what has happened in the last few years, this post would be 1,000,000 characters long, so here is a TLDR. I broke up with the girlfriend I was dating in the first story after I found out she was cheating on me. I never ended up marrying the cousin because I avoided renewing my passport, and my mom found another person, in the US, that she was going to try to force me to marry, and that fell through as well. I ended up summoning the strength to start standing up to my mom, and she kicked me out of the house in the summer of 2021. I moved in with another family member, and I turned to drugs and alcohol to help me cope. I overdosed in December 2021 at age 21, but thankfully I survived. My mom and I reconciled in January 2022 because of her entering counseling and my overdose. I moved back in with my mother so she could care for me while I recovered. However, she ended up having another freakout and kicked me out again in August 2022. I had to move to a different state with a Discord friend because my mom physically attacked me. I left all my possessions and everything I knew and loved behind. I was utterly miserable in this new state, no money to my name, and I went days at a time without eating. I tried to take my own life. I survived, started working my rear off, and found a job. I then found another unhealthy vice and started my hookup phase in this new state. I ended up dating someone who turned out to be the second most toxic woman imaginable, and I'm also an idiot who doesn't seem to learn my lesson. I moved in with my mother yet again in January 2023. But this time, things actually seemed to go fairly normal for a while, since my mom realized she could use me for money and I let her because I was a sucker. I started a career and began making money. I broke up with my now long-distance girlfriend, and after the breakup, she accused me of cheating on her, but it turns out she was the one who was cheating. I swore off relationships for good and got close to a girl who also swore off relationships for good and, yup, we ended up dating lol. We celebrated our 1-year anniversary, and after yet another freakout by my mom in January 2025, because my girlfriend gave me the reality check to stop letting her use me, my girlfriend and I made plans to move in together. As of April 2025, we are now living together, and I am 800 miles away from my mother and barely call her. My mom and I are cordial because I still want contact with my little sister, but I only call my mom on my terms. Anytime she starts acting entitled, I cut her off and threaten to go no contact. I'm now living a peaceful life that I never thought I'd be living. I'm with the love of my life, and I'm planning to propose to her soon. I'm being flown all over the country thanks to my career, and my partner's family has basically taken me in as one of their own. I want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who read and replied to my old post. You guys truly helped me put a lot of things into perspective, and it helped me realize what a messed up situation I was living in. I have tons of stories from events that have happened over the years and stories from my career as a touring musician, so let me know if you guys want to hear some. It feels kind of therapeutic writing these. Thank you, guys. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. What's that stat? It takes a victim of abuse 7 attempts on average to leave their abuser. As exasperating as this update was, it was nice he finally left. Commenter 2. He thinks he's in the clear, but just wait until the momzilla tries to take over his wedding or have his kid call her mama. Ops response. My mom has been trying to insert herself into my life, wanting my new address, but I just ignore it and tell her no. For my wedding, I'll either elope or tell my mom that the second one hair is out of place, she's out.